Spacey Sims, and we are back with more London Detective Mysteria and Lupin's Rod. Did I say that in the last part? I don't, like, I mean, like, there are times where I do things and I'm like, did I say the intro in the last part? Did I do that? Like, what happened? Well, anyway. But yeah, Sora and Lupin's are out, and I'm so disappointed that we learned that Lupin and Lupin are the same person. But it wasn't as, like, dramatic as I expected it to be. It's kind of just like it happened, and it was like, oh, it was so disappointing. And also because it happened so fast. I wanted, like, awkward, strange Lupin to be around a little bit longer, because this would have been great if he was here during this one, or, like, whatever, or she got knocked out when they were, like, the Holy Grail thing, and then he was like, oh, you were passed out, and I dragged you away, like, you know. Some man came to our rescue, you don't remember? And, like, it would have been so much better. But then we wouldn't have had the conversation we just had with him. I mean, yes, he told us, he could have still told us all that, but, like, she wouldn't have had that, like, why did you leave your friends? I miss you. Like, but I just like awkward little Lupin, and I just find it so much funnier when he's around, and they're like, he's like, I got knocked out. And they're like, yeah, we expect that of you. Yeah, we weren't really expecting much help from you. And he's just, oh, it's so good. I don't know, is she going to tell anyone that he's Lupin ever? Because maybe that reveal will be more dramatic and fun. I was just waiting for it to be really great, but I feel a little disappointed in it. But anyway, still love Lupin, so anyway. The inspector was greeted soon after with news. There have been quiet in the hours the men dispersed. Oh, there had been quiet in the hours the men dispersed to search for clues, so he thought one had been found when he overheard the footsteps of several flustered officers approaching. Inspector Lestrade, Sergeant Ryan, we've got a problem. Calm down and tell me what's happened. The cage we set up's been activated. Then we caught Lupin? Well, no, sir. I really bungled this one. I was attacked from behind very suddenly. Before I knew it, I was trapped in here. Watson, just what are you doing? Now, this isn't good, Inspector. If Lupin was the one who attacked Watson, then he must have noticed that it wasn't the real Santa Maria. We need to make haste. You're right. Let's check the tank. Let's check the tank where the Wait. Why? What's this, Holmes? Why did you grab my arm? There are two ways to find the Santa Maria. The first is to use your brain and observe for clues to narrow down its location. The second is much faster. Simply have someone who already knows where it is lead you right to it. And we all know that hard work isn't your style, is it, Lupin? I don't know what you're talking about, Holmes. I'm your assistant. I can't believe you would... A query for you then, Watson. Where are those marks from when where are those marks from when your cheeks were pulled gone? They shouldn't have disappeared that quickly. If given two options, a thief will always choose the fastest route to their treasure. If that meant using the yard's trap against them, then so be it. Now where is Watson? Oh, you have nothing to fear. He is well. He's in the facility's storage room, dreaming happily of swimming with the fishes, no doubt. Watson explained with a playful smile. This was because he was not Watson at all. With the smile came his transformation into Lupin, taking each of the men in the room by complete surprise. I love it when they do this, when they do these little, like, I don't know why I love these so much. What? It's like acting, what? Like he's acting surprised. And of course, an outed thief of his caliber would be a fool if he didn't escape through a plume of smoke. The room was filled to the brim. What's going on? Who ordered the smoke? How could... Holmes then felt an unusual graze upon his cheek. He let go of Lupin. A card, perhaps. Come back here, Lupin! I'm like, oh, okay, because you asked. I'm a gentleman. The gemstone did not disappoint. Certainly its deep aquamarine could have reflected the very glow of the sea in its shade. Ah, what radiance. And Lupin thought it even more beautiful knowing he had to outwit Holmes in Scotland Yard to obtain it. feel like fate enjoys playing matchmaker for us. Or it could be destiny of our own making. And this lustrous gem was the thread that happened to connect us. What do you think? I agree that it connects us in some way. I'm only here because I knew this was where the gem was. And how did you know it was in this tank? I noticed earlier that the fabric of the sergeant's uniform was damp. Washing his hands could have caused his clothes to get wet, but then it would be his cuffs at most. The only scenario I could picture that he rolled up the fabric in such a way that only the elbows would have gotten wet were he to put his arms in water. And what would make that necessary? The gemstone, most likely. This led me to believe it was hidden underwater. Still, the police would not risk damaging something so precious by placing it in the tank with large or saltwater fish. That narrowed down its potential location to tanks with small fish that live in freshwater, taking me here, though it appears I arrived moments too late. I cast a swift glance at the Santa Maria glistening in Lupin's hand. If I'm honest, I had hoped for an answer that would tickle the mind and tug at my heartstrings. A tale of a man and woman drawn by a bewitching stone like no other. It's a romantic concept when you think about it, isn't it? Not in the slightest. I'm here because I want to stop your theft and take my photograph back. A sensible response. It makes you sound like some officer or detective. I'm like a detective. I am a detective. Are you? You don't seem the sort to me. You strike me as a sweet young lady who would, say, trust even the words of a dashing thief. Stop mocking me! I do love watching your many expressions. I could weep knowing that this is the last of them I'll ever see. You'd best stay away from me from now on. It's for your own good. This cheer with which he often adorned, that sincere, playful smile, was overshadowed by a much colder impression. Yet I refused to step down. Why would I give up on his demand? I couldn't accept it. I wouldn't. Do you think I'll listen to you? Well, listen to this. I want my photograph back, so hand it over. I cannot do that. Then until you can, I'll never stop following you. You expect everything to go your way, but it won't. Not this time. My. You are so very brave, my princess, but so very troublesome as well. Well, if that's your wish, then pursue me to the ends of the earth, if you can. Wait! With masterful flexibility, Lupin leapt to a nearby window and jumped. This is the first floor, but the facility was constructed in line with the shape of the gorge. It shouldn't be too far to the ground. You won't get away from me! Oh, dear God. I followed, placing my foot on the window frame before hopping out clumsily. Equally clumsy was my landing, which had dirtied my dress. Certainly I didn't possess the adroitness of a thief, but I had the tenacity of one. Dirt was hardly concerning. Wait, Lupin! He disappeared behind a sharp corner of the facility, and I turned the same one soon after. Give me the photograph and the gemstone! This path we were on was too narrow for this sort of work. It became thinner, softer, and the ground more unkempt beneath my steps. I nearly tripped over myself once or twice when overlooking the cliff. This wasn't the time. Any more mistakes and he was sure to get away. It forced all focus on Lupin. If I was to catch him, then with the exception of it being one more obstacle in my pursuit, the ground was not to come into play here. Ah! My focus became its most concentrated, then it was disrupted by a hole in the ground, causing me to lose my balance. I couldn't slow down. I couldn't stop. I couldn't prop myself against anything. I'm going to fall! Oh, he's gonna save her ass. There was nowhere for me to go but off the side of the cliff. God, she's gonna fall off a cliff. They always fall off cliffs. Why is that a thing? Extra point if you're playing Spacey Go for falling off a cliff, even though that's not on the board. Just give yourself a point for that, because Jesus goddamn Christ, this has become a thing now. I could grasp nothing. I watched in a speed that felt considerably delayed than reality as my hair flapped wildly across my face with gravity's pull. The ground below was too far for me to see. How deep was the gorge? What was down there? These answers didn't matter. It could have been forestry or flat lands, but the result would be the same. Lupin's gonna save your ass. Am I going to die? The seconds passed, but time only continued to slow for me. I'd heard that the moment you die, your entire life flashes before you. I saw no such thing, but I could have believed that this was the moment nonetheless. Did the world slow down to show me what I was leaving behind? See, this game would kind of almost be better in situations like this when you have the choice run after him or don't. You're like, run after him, and then you run after him, and this is a bad ending, and you die, and you're like, okay, so the right answer is don't. You know what I'm saying? Damn it! You had to. A desperate scream from somewhere far off reached my ears, but there was no way for me to see who it was. By God's blessing, my consciousness soon descended into darkness. I welcomed it. I wished not to see how my life would end. You know Lupin saved her ass. Along the bottom of Cheddar Gorge was a river. It was an ordinarily modest river that, upon a sudden splash from above, became defiled by a human carrying another in their arms. Look, he's so pretty when he's angry. He's like, God damn it. Are you all right, Spacey? When he reached land, effort gave way to pain, and he was able to feel the sharpness of such through his right foot. I think my ankle's been hurt from the impact of the fall. He lay the young lady whom he rescued at the side of the river. She had been drenched, eyes unopened, and hair twisted over her nose and lips. In a rushed panic, he placed a hand on her cheek, gave it a light pat, and prayed for a stir. Wake up, Spacey. Thank God, only unconscious. The news was not yet cause for celebration. Her face was pale and her breathing shallow. And she's not a brave princess, but a senseless one. I didn't think she would come after me with so little regard for her own welfare. Then again, I did jump after her. A gentleman still, I suppose, but I'm equally senseless. Lupin witnessed Spacey's fall, and more than he desired a dramatic escape, he desired a rescue. He dived downwards without hesitation. Though he had his glider ready, he didn't want to risk opening it until he had her in his arms. They fell. The gorge was tall and felt taller with the ferocious air cradling them. Lupin held her preciously, and with one free hand he hoped to spread his wings before being forced to bear the full impact of landing. He managed it, whilst nearly losing his chance at that, but his luck was stellar, and he was saved by both the glider and the river below them. His injuries were minor, but as he was not a man built for injury, even a sprain might be considered severe. And now I see it. We've been washed pretty far downstream. Then, oh, it would start raining now, of course. Has my luck turned rotten? Yeah, because you fell in love with a woman. That's what happens. Sorry. The weather in the gorge was well known for being fickle. It could be dry and pleasant only moments before a storm hit. The moment Lupin felt settled, a cold, heavy rain erupted. I'll manage as I am, but I can't leave her like this. The temperature dropped more so with dusk, which was fast passing into night. It could be below freezing at this time of year once it's dark enough, and then we have the rain to add to that. This is looking bad indeed. It would be a trial to move without a proper splint, but he had to chance it. The best he could do for the time being was tear a piece of the sash at his waist and bind his ankle as tightly as he could. I must get her somewhere out of this rain. Lupin gathered the Countess into his arms a second time. I'm not a countess, though. Anyway. He knew she was lighter than this, but her dress, a rather beautiful one pageanted with ruffles and frills, was soaked by rain and river, making her twice her normal weight. A discourteous thought, but difficult to unthink. I'm sorry, Spacey. I know how cold it is, but bear with it for just a while longer. Her body was lifeless. Lupin held her to his chest, but she made no sign of responding. To his anxiety, she was no more than a rag doll. His ankle ached. Whether he made to strain himself to use it lightly or cope with the pain, the result was the same. Step by step, ache by ache, he walked. He's going to get caught. There was little vegetation to be seen throughout Cheddar Gorge. It was more known for sheer cliffs and exposed rock. And its rain was unkind and no lighter than when Lupin started. Much-needed energy had been rightfully sapped and could be sapped no more upon sight of a cave carved out of the rock. At last, shelter was found. Spacey, I'm starting a fire now. I won't be more than a minute. I didn't think this was how I was going to be using those special matches I stole from Papa. I expected there to be more theatrics. This hollow was deep enough that Lupin could respectfully rest Spacey upon a flat surface free from the downpour. Branches had naturally settled along its entrance, and though plenty were damp, plenty could be exploited for warmth. Numb, frozen fingers had little option but to navigate setting fire to them. Do I have anything else I can use? Just my cards by the look of it. The playing cards, specially treated to resist wear and tear, were his weapons and symbolic in their own right. Other goods on his person, however, were rendered unusable. A shame, with Kindle being otherwise limited to twigs. I don't like the idea of throwing these in the fire. Before he could rest, Lupin tensed at the sound that drowned in the rain. Howling. A fucking course. Wolves! And a fair few of them. They're close. What to do? I don't know if I should lament my poor luck for this wretched affair or rejoice for still having my cards. I'll be back soon, Spacey. His whisper, darling, courteous, and gentle, was so near only she could have perhaps heard it. He placed a hand along her cheek. She was still cold. Lupin left the cave to keep the beasts away from Spacey, and there was no labor on his part to find them. Their bodies were obscured by the downpour, but their eyes, fierce in their glow, were all too distinct. The cards remained his only weapon. He raised them for battle. So it's like fucking hilarious. He's got like wolves and he's got like fucking Magic the Gathering. Stop. I haven't got time to roll in the mud with you. There's a lady waiting for me. So hurry up and get lost. When they were close enough that Lupin could see their form, one bared its teeth, eager for flesh, with the rest following suit to pounce. I shall have to make it clear that we won't be playing fetch today. I fucking love it. I love these. And so symbolic swords were drawn. The thief, with cards which cleaved through the air in perfect formation, and the wolves with gnarled fangs and outstretched claws. It was the cards that saw victory. Lupin, whose energy had long been exhausted, felt no relief as he turned back to the cave, his right foot now being dragged along the ground between terrible limping. Each step became an exercise in preventing his collapse. Spacey, what's... Something wasn't right. What life she possessed to her before was drained. He strained himself to reach her, his knees clapping the ground and grateful to no longer carry his weight. Oh, that's me. Spacey showed no signs of opening her eyes. Beneath, a breath was ragged, body was shaking. To the touch, she was like ice. She's so cold. Lupin could not help but gasp when he held her hand. She feels just as cold as Maman did when she died. A fire isn't going to be enough to warm her. I need to find something else. Wrap your body around me. Look at me warm. What was this? He'd started a fire, and it flickered faintly, but there was more warmth to the air than before. His hand moved toward her clothes. Why is she like this? I'm not gonna but she's like, panting. I don't know. Fingers, hands, arms, chest, and all were cold. Her face was sickly in appearance. The red patches of blood blustering at her cheeks did nothing for the translucency of her eyelids or the unnatural bruising of her lips. You've put me in a spot, Spacey. I am a gentleman thief, not an expert on giving. And right now, I don't even have much to give but what's with me. So, all I can do is give my heat to you. Oh. And returns are for the cheap, so you'll have to make the most of it. Lupin removed what was left of his torn sash, his coat, and his blouse, which were all dripping with rainwater. Then, illumined by the fire, he raised her shivering body into his embrace. Oh. Whoa! Dear Lord, did you get her naked? That's inappropriate, Lupin. Wow. Spacey's back was pressed against his chest. Lupin caught her rapid heartbeat. Her hair, wet and untidy, yet still soft, brushed his cheek. The feeling was divine. When the thief noticed a matted set of strands against her neck, he took the utmost care to separate them. She's so slim. It only takes a small touch to realize that. And this slim body had all that strength to pursue me. Even her nape was beautiful. He pulled her closer, nestling his nose against it. This is a little... you gotta be like... Okay, you're getting a little touchy-feely while I'm unconscious, but you are trying to save my life. So, maybe I guess it's okay. Just Keep it to PG, okay? Oh, what a sweet smell she has. It makes me feel oddly calm. Her gold hair glistened with the fire, and as he observed, it curled into damp waves that brought to mind the sea. She is beautiful. No, she's kind of derpy, but it was an honor to know her. Though in truth, since he was well aware of his sensibilities, there was more than honor to this. There absolutely was. Lupin would be a fool to ignore it. She was enchanting. He brushed a light kiss along her neck and nothing more before bringing her closer. I can feel her heart beating. It's going so fast. Not much faster than mine. Her rhythm was pleasant as she. Yes, he was absolutely enchanted. And at last in his enchantment could he close his eyes and be lulled to sleep. She's going to wake up and be like, why am I naked? Because she looked naked. That sounds like firewood. Is there a fire nearby? It's so cozy, like I've been wrapped in something. I hadn't a clue how much time passed, or what had happened to me. There was then, and then there was now. A sense of here. I had no desire to open my eyes or move. This warmth, whatever it could have been, had the pleasantness of a cozy winter's blanket that I would sorely miss once stripped from me. Well, yeah, because I think you're naked. It reminded me of all those mornings when I was so desperate to stay in bed. What happened to me? I remember chasing Lupin, and then I was falling from that cliff, and then... Sadly, there was no drifting into slumber left for me, and so I opened my eyes with due caution to my new surroundings. The first thing I spotted was a dwindling fire, and after that, soot-colored walls. A cave? And then there was a pair of arms wrapped across my chest, both of them as unclothed as I was. Arm, chest. Why aren't there clothes? Yeah, like she literally is fucking naked. Like, that's a little inappropriate, Lupin. I mean, I understand my clothes were wet, but you didn't have to take everything off. That was a lot of layers, is all I'm saying. You could have kept my fucking bloomers on. Like, I'm just saying. Could have kept something. I'm pretty sure I had about 14, like I had a layer of underclothes, and then like the like the over underclothes, and then the over underclothes, and then like, I got about 14 layers on. You could have left one of them, is all I'm saying. All the breath left me in a silent scream. How did I end up like this? Why am I naked? What happened? And whose arms are these? I mean, oh, this is Lupin. Spacey. My confusion was mounting over all else, and the mumble that tickled my ear made my heart leap from shock. Something began to stir on my shoulder. Are you finally awake? Look at his face. That face is such a fucking creeper face, though. No, I wasn't expecting to hear a man so close. No appropriate response came to mind. Was there an appropriate response for this? What the fuck? When no answer came, the arms latched further onto me with a tender strength. There was another skin against my bare neck, a feathery head of blonde against my bare shoulder. The entire upper half of his body was exposed, whilst mine was entirely... Lupin! What is... You weren't cold, are you? Lupin made no effort to move, and his timbre delivered the quiet, hoarse texture of morning. I felt a shiver when his breath soothed the back of my neck. I'm not, but look at you. You're shivering. I was sensitive to every mild shift where her skin met. That isn't because I'm cold. That's, because... Lupin loosened his hold to caress my cheek with the back of his hand. There he was, moving! Again! And with the skin leaving one place for the next, his heat lingered through my back, shoulders, chest, and all throughout, setting wherever was touched next alight. My back seemed to mold to his front perfectly. The shame was enough that I'd hoped I was still sleeping. If you aren't cold, then I'm glad. You were shaking so much earlier. Lupin's whisper dropped so that I nearly couldn't hear it. Contrary to the vivacity he displayed in our encounters, he was not docile, but charmingly fierce in the way one was when they refused the call of sleep. I was getting panicked when I felt how cold you were. I'm glad you've warmed up. His hand caressed my cheek and played with my hair. You've struck me, Spacey. She's about to strike you. You didn't need to take all the clothes off. You're small, and you're soft, and I'm naked. I didn't think anyone like you would have the nerve to chase after me. I've been lost to a cumbersome emotion that was, at the same time, agreeable. The magic it worked made my heart thump from the mere sight of his skin, and though my mind wished to swirl into confusion, Lupin emerged from the mess as its one true occupant. A startling something stroking me gave me focus. Context! Dear Lord, context! I don't want to know. I don't want to read that. Something nestled through my hair to touch my nape. Surely it was Lupin behind this, but I didn't know what he was doing. What are you? When I twisted my body to see him, he trapped me in his arms more securely. I wanted to huff at what a child he was being, but I could do nothing. He's being a child. Really? You're naked. Girl, this is not... Not even a stern breeze could have found a path between us. We were so close. There was no place to run or hide either, for had I stood, my shame would be twice as much. I wished again that I were decent. Lupin, can you take your hand? Wait, please, don't move. The tickle which weakened me before returned, together with the answer to the mysterious something. Lupin had been rubbing his forehead at my nape like a kitten in need of attention. Lupin... The way he held me then, I felt treasured and needed. I mean, don't get me wrong. Everybody wants to be, like, held. You're like, this is all wonderful. But again, why am I mean, I get it. I know why I'm naked because you had to save my life and, like, that was the only option. But I'm just saying, I had, like, 500 layers. You could have left something. Just a little bit of something for decency's sake. Because you still have your pants on, motherfuckers. So, I mean, my underclothes might have been a little bit wet, but no wetter than your fucking pants. Just saying. This is you being a little bit pervy. This crossed a little bit of a line. A little bit unacceptable. I might forgive you, but this is a little unacceptable. He gave adoration openly, and at this moment, I rather didn't mind it. It somehow made the words he used all the more captivating. This would have been an even funnier part if she was with stuttering, awkward Lupin, and she woke up like this, and she's like, wait. So confused. That would have been even better. Please, stay like this. Stay with me, always. Lupin's speech was growing sluggish and intermittent by the second. He relaxed his hold on me in the lightest, sweetest way one could before he stopped moving. She's like, oh God, okay, now's the time to sneak away and put clothes on. He's gone to sleep. And last he was at rest while using my shoulder as a pillow. I don't think his ankle was bandaged back at the facility. Was he injured saving me? A thought occurred. Was that Lupin's voice I heard when falling? Oh, forget it as a mere thought. It was the only logical conclusion. That without his calling out, without his rescue, without his injury, I wouldn't have survived the fall. I'm not comfortable staying in the state of undress, but it would be wrong to wake him. I suppose I can let him sleep for now. I closed my eyes again. If I didn't see this warmth as naked arms, then it was my hope I could will my imagination into believing it a simple blanket. Yet it was no longer so comfortable as when I'd first awakened. It was steadily becoming hot. Hotter. Any more and I should have liked to melt and wash away with the rain. Was my heart the guilty party, perhaps? It beat far more rapidly now than ever before. I mean, you are being embraced by a half-naked man and you're totally naked, and this is kind of an awkward way to wake up. I'm just saying. Especially for back in the day. Now it's an awkward thing to wake. You're like, this is an awkward way to wake up, but I might have had too much to drink last night, and this is probably my own fault. This, however, is an even more awkward thing to wake up. You're like, I almost died, and I woke up naked, and... I can feel his heartbeat. It's a completely different rhythm to mine. The two, my heartbeat and his, created a dense heat, serving at first as a healthy distraction from sleep. Then it became the fuse. Beat by beat, the sound became a song, and the warmth enough to lull me to dreamland. I was flat against the ground when I next awakened, with a cloth beneath me. The cave, which only had the light of the fire previously, was now adorned with the sun. Lupin? She's out laying in the middle by the river. Ah, I'm still naked! Good morning, my Briar Rose. Ah! That was much too close. I wanted to squeal. He'd startled me out of what little sleep there was left in me. It makes me blush to hear my name being the first to leave your lips as you wake. Lupin was kneeling next to me with what looked like a collapsible cup of water in his hand. Midnight passed, and the magic of the night was done. Well. He returned to the ever-so-sly smile that marked a thief, and he'd smartly fashioned himself in his muddied clothes. Would you like some water? Thank you. The cold of the water against my parched throat was lovely. Are you still naked, though? Upon finishing the cup, I noticed Lupin had been watching me the entire time. Or he dressed you, and that's even weirder, because then you're like, I'm fully dressed again. Awkward. What is it? She is butt fucking naked. How embarrassing. I was just wondering how long do you plan to go, au naturel. And not that I mind. I like your fashion sense. Pardon? Ah! I grabbed the cloth beneath me and wrapped it around my body as swiftly as I could manage. What? Why do I still look like this? You look over there this instant! I'll get dressed, just look! Very well. As you wish, my dearest princess. He has seen you naked. He was probably staring. God, no. Lupin, I really hope you're a gentleman. What did he call me? Why do I have to say? That was what the thing is. Did you say my? That's what the thing is, which is weird. I did. What of it? What do you mean by it? Mean? I'm not exactly what you think I... Don't turn around! Not yet! I collected myself until I was satisfied I returned to behaving in a manner befitting a young lady, dressed myself in my clothes Lupin left to dry, and then, curiously, observed the bandage at his right ankle. May I ask something, Lupin? Was that my fault? The thing is he could have left my dress to dry, and, again, kept me in my underpants. I'm just saying. This did make it awkwardly funny, though. Oh, this? It's the damnedest thing, really. I was occupied with thoughts of how to carry you most gracefully when, quite ungracefully, this cloth was caught on a stray branch, and so I tied it around my ankle to get out of the way. But you look as if you've been dragging it a little. Oh, Spacey. In times like these, it's best to smile and let deceit run its course. A gentleman could never dream of flattering himself if he's injured trying to save a woman. I don't find anything unflattering about a man who was kind enough to save my life. And, I've yet to thank you for it. Truly, thank you for saving me. Your scruples make my heart ache sometimes, I'll have you know. Wasn't it your ankle that was hurting? Are you alright? It's but a scratch. I've carried out a theft with a broken leg, even. Have you? A broken leg? Please, dear, I'm lying. You and your terrible tall tales! Elegant thefts and delightful eyes are what we gentlemen thieves are known for. It comes with the work. I shan't ever stop being terrible, I fear. I had been gullible. I never should have been soft in the face of his earlier charms, for he was a thief, and a thief would always remain a thief. I really just want him to fucking live life as fucking John, while he goes out at night as Jean. I just need this in my life. But the thought pained me, not because I'd been soft, but because I wished I could have been soft without consequence. Well, I do understand work. Pursuing criminals relentlessly comes with being a detective. So you'll hand my photograph back to me. You'll be safer without it. What's the harm in it? I don't understand. Well... Lupin never answered. The silence pervaded till we both heard a call from outside. My lady! I think it was Pendleton. He must have spent tireless hours searching for me upon my disappearance. Could you fucking imagine 5 minutes sooner? Like, Lupin hears that, he busts, runs away. Pendleton comes rushing in and she's just lying there butt fucking naked. Oh my god, Pendleton would have lost his motherfucking mind. Pendleton would have been like in a ball in the corner. She would have like woken up like, Pendleton, what's wrong? Yeah! You have been ruined! Pendleton will defend my honor. I'm just saying. Holmes and Watson's voice trailed vaguely behind it. Oh, that would have been even more embarrassing. Amber, she's like, what is everyone? Ah! They're looking at you butt naked. I see your knights have come to your proper rescue, princess. That means my role is done. Wait! Lupin motioned to exit, but I grabbed his arm before he was allowed the first step. I want to know, why did you save me? You aren't going to give me back my photograph back. You run if I try to follow you. You do nothing but mock and trick me. Why? Why, when you're just a thief, did you try to save me? And why do you plan to run off again without any consideration for what I think? I put you through such distress, my princess, without even knowing it. Will you miss me that much when I'm gone? That is... I had no counter. Would I miss him? It wasn't an immediate yes, but I did consider, if we parted ways here, when would I see him again? Would I see him again? This makes me horribly uneasy. Why must it make my chest hurt? Listen closely, Spacey. Huh? Lupin tugged my arm and pulled me towards him. Oh. He was so gentle as I was faced him, his arms around me as my hands were pressed against his chest. Please, I beg you not to look so sad. I may enjoy teasing you, but I can never enjoy seeing you so unhappy. But that's a contradiction. I cannot give you anything more. I want to, believe me when I say it, but I'll not allow myself to indulge. I have a goal, and for its sake, I can vanish from your life without hesitation. So please, if being away from me is going to cause you pain, then I'd rather you forget me. Why does he say he can't give me anything when he's giving me such a gentle embrace? When he's giving me this warmth? The scoundrel, the thief, the swindler. I can think of any number of names to denounce the man that brushed away my hair so bashfully, and as the list went on, they became more meaningless. I thought the words, but I didn't reject the man. So what did that make me? A thief lover! You disgust me! You're selfish! Greedy! You toy with people until... Oh, that's me. I was like, wait, that doesn't make sense. You toy with people until you're satisfied, and then you disappear without a care to what you've done to them! Whether you think I look the part or not, I'm a gentleman thief. If you want to be happy, then you best not involve yourself with men like me. Find happiness elsewhere. Thankfully, I don't imagine we'll be meeting again, even if you tried. What? I wish for your happiness from the bottom of my heart. Lupin presented what looked to be a most heavenly, lonely smile. And then he placed his hand over my eyes. May I ask that you close your eyes, my dearest? I could feel his whisper humming near my ear, his breath on my skin. The tenderness of his fingers spread to my cheeks, to my shoulders, to my chest. Farewell, Spacey. I felt a pressure against my lips. No doubt it was the same pressure I'd felt before. I could push away his hand now and open my eyes to dispel the moment if I wanted. But I didn't want to. I wanted to hold on to what little magic there was left. I pray, now and forever, for your happiness. He withdrew slowly. Wait. The warmth of his hand was leaving me. Did it have to be so cold without it? Wait! I reached out to where he ought to have been and felt nothing. Opened my eyes and saw no one. He's like climbing. Hold on, keep your eyes closed, hold on. This is hard, I'm in a cave, bitch. Our magic had faded to nothing. There was, however, in Lupin's place, a card I'd never seen before at my feet. It depicted the Queen of Hearts, who returned my frown with a serene smile. I picked it up and inspected it closely, realizing it was the same signature he always left at the scene of his thefts. Lupin, why do you think we'll never meet again? I hadn't expected to feel this lonely without him here. My lady, you aren't hurt, are you? I watched the exit, thoughts fully engaged in him and his whereabouts until the three found me. In the time it had taken for Spacey to reunite with her rescuers, Lupin was reunited with his father. Good heavens, just look at you! If you want to call yourself a great gentleman thief like your father, you must take better care of your appearance. For tonight, Papa, I don't wish to hear it. Or anything, really. Please shut up. You're at a rebellious age, but that won't frighten me. Besides, affairs with women are infinitely more labyrinthine than that of treasure, and love can take many forms. To refuse a woman is a form of love in itself. Ah, and of course, there aren't many who know of more forms than you. I'd rather you not look at me with such contempt. I know what you're thinking, and so I'll speak candidly. My one true love forever has, and will forever be, your mother. I just like to woo ladies for funsies. Fine, whatever. Although, my son, I'd like you to tell me something. What? Why did you steal that photograph from the Whitley mansion? Why do you want to know? You weren't ordered to steal it by someone, were you? I don't want to believe it, but you didn't attempt to sneak amongst Spellbound's ranks in my place for the sake of your You think I would do something in your place? And that never crossed my mind. What matters most to me is me. I would have to be mad to do my work on behalf of anyone else. I suppose loving oneself is yet another form, but you'd do well to discover many more. Love for your father is a fine one if I may volunteer a start. You may not. And were I ever to know love, I would have to let it go. I don't see the point. The last part was but a mumble, and its utterance concealed beneath a sigh so his father would not hear it. The day after we returned from Cheddar Gorge was a school day. Will you not reconsider going to school today, my lady? You were the one who said I shouldn't forget that I'm a student. I did, certainly. But ever since the case with Lupin, you've been acting most unusually. He's like, you were in a cave overnight, you almost died. Sighing, gazing up, then sighing again, and the cycle begins anew. You're like a maiden in love, if I may say so. What? What? That was not the word I expected. Oh, no. No, no, no. It was absurd. I'm in love. What nonsense. I'm not... Is it? And then I'm thinking too much over it. Yes, you are. And I'm relieved. And with that, we should set off for school at once, or you're going to be late. I didn't know someone could change their mind so quickly. Pendleton, now content with my decision to treat this day as an ordinary one, rushed me through finishing my breakfast and gathering my books for school. I'd insisted several times that I was well to Pendleton, which weren't lies. I was able, quite able, even when I sighed on the way to the classroom. And when my heart felt heavy, I sighed again. Pendleton guessed that I was in love. With whom? The memory of Lupin's lonely smile came to mind. Me? In love with him? But... It'd just be so funny for, like, Lupin to be back in class and for her to look at him and just think, I was just naked with you. It's weird. He doesn't seem the type. Huh. It's been too long for comfort since we've seen you. Your injuries have healed then, I trust. I hoped to dismiss it. The first thing I heard was Watson, whose cheerful voice carried outside into the hall the moment I turned the handle of the classroom door. Oh my god, is he back? Oh my god, he really is back. I was totally joking! This is gonna be so fucking awkward! You thought being naked in a cave was awkward. This is awkward. This is like the next day you're like, well, at least I don't have to face... Oh, dear. You can't imagine the surprise when we heard you sprain both your ankles. Well, you look so fit now. Injuries. Both ankles. I swung open the door with so much force I thought I might break it. You! Before me was an unexpected sight. A blonde-haired, bespectacled boy. I'm so excited! Awkward Lupin's back! No! Hello, Miss Whitley. Perhaps there was a hint of magic left after all. I'm so excited about that. I can't even. It's the best. She's like, you! And he's like, oh, awkward. And she's like, well, it was at that time we were naked in a cave together. And they're like, wait, well, back it up. What? Oh, my God. Oh, I feel like his path is going really fast, though. Is it just me? Anyway. John Lupin's forehead teetered upwards to convey his distress. His face was such a constant that anyone would sooner raise their eyebrow in suspicion if he were to behave with composure. Anyone except for me.
Miss Whitley?
And that gormless expression is for what exactly, Miss Whitley? Oh, that's Holmes. Sorry. Ahem! And the gormless expression is for what exactly, Miss Whitley? I read that as fucking Watson. Treat her decently, Holmes. She fell off the side of a cliff recently, you know? Indeed. Tripping over a cliff chasing Lupin is so foolish a stunt that I doubt even the Yard would go so far. I mean, that's how you know you're the MC in an Otome game. If you don't fall off a cliff, what the fuck are you doing with your life? I said nothing. Whatever Holmes and Watson said went in one ear and out the other.
Are you all right?
Am I all right? Am I? How could I be? How dare you even ask?
Miss Whitley, what are...
Just come with me, you Lupin! I gripped the wrist of the world's greatest liar and dragged him behind me. The more he played to our schoolmates with false whimperings, the angrier it made me. And the more this anger was building, the more constricting my grip around him became. I just want him to turn into Lupin with the fucking, like, when she, like, pushed him and go on. He's like, well, seriously, with the glasses and everything on. I just need this. Spacey, he did only recover recently from spraining both his ankles. Perhaps you might want to consider being a little more gentle with him. Don't be absurd, Watson. It's his arm I'm treating roughly. I'm not sure that's the issue here. The issue is that I've something quite pressing to discuss with him, so if you would, please move out of my way.
Miss Whitley, my glasses are... they're gonna slip. Please be a bit more
Bother your glasses. Come along now. Hold on, Spacey. Too late. What could Lupin have possibly done to make her so livid? God only knows. I didn't listen to anyone else, for it didn't concern them. Bit by bit, through my tiny stature and his heels digging into the floor in protest, I forced him out of the classroom. We made it to the courtyard, which at this time was devoid of people. With only the two of us present, I could at least speak my mind. He's so adorable. Look, he's like, what? I look so innocent and sweet. What's the meaning of this, Lupin? All those things you said, and you show up again as though nothing happened. You said we'd never meet again. You said I'd forget all about you. Just how was I to expect this?
What? I don't remember telling you anything of the sort.
Well, you did. So out with it. Why did you look so sad when you said those things? Was it another one of your lies? Was this just another game of teasing and toying with me? Again, he made me out to be a fool. I went without sleep, fretting over his last words. And to what end? It made me pitiful. It made me sad. I was so angry I wanted to cry. Oh my god, don't tell me he's got like a split personality. Is it so fun to watch me be deceived?
Miss Whitley,
To you, they were meaningless lies, but to me... Spacey! I was called into silence by him merely calling out my name. He's like, Miss Whitley, Spacey!
Elegant thefts and delightful lies are what gentlemen thieves are known for.
I really feel like he should be saying this in the Lupin voice. Did you forget what I said? Did you forget that if being away from me is going to cause you pain, then I'd rather you forget me? Who is he now? Lupin? Lupin? He dressed the part of the former, but he acted the part of the latter. I knew they were one and the same, of course, but which side was he trying to show me? I'm not sure which voice. Well, I'm just going to go with the Lupin voice, even though he's Lupin. So confusing. If you're looking for someone to wipe away your tears and console you, then we both know I've never been that man. If you seek sincerity, as someone whose word is bond, then we know I'm not that someone either. Yes, you're right. You're a gentleman thief. Theft and lies are what you do. I could do nothing but accept, and with it, my anger subsided. In its place was a reminder that I had been nothing but foolish. What did I expect from him? He was never going to apologize for his deceptions. I've gotten myself all riled, running in circles. I need to get a hold of myself. Very well. I don't care how much of a liar you are anymore, Lupin. It's totally a different, like, expression than we've ever seen on Lupin's face, right? Like, Lupin. I prefer if you called me Lupin. Like, I'm sure it's supposed to be Lupin. Like, or something, you know. But I'm like, am I supposed to say that? Like, I guess we should have gone with that so it wouldn't be so. But anyway.
I'd prefer it if you called me Lupin, but I suppose you aren't in the mood for requests. Well, I'm sure you have more to say.
It's weird. I don't know which voice to use for him. I'm just going to be flipping back and forth. That I do. I still want you to give me back that photograph of my mother and father. It's very important to me.
I cannot do that.
Why?
You don't need to know.
Do you think I'm going to accept that as a valid answer?
I'm not an idiot. You've jumped off a cliff for it. You've proven you're willing to do just about anything, any mad thing for it.
I feel like we should be doing the Lupin voice, not the Lupin voice. You know what I mean? We should be doing the, like, the thief voice, not the awkward student voice. Just because, until he's being awkward student again. So, I went, I'm sorry, but I didn't jump, I fell!
Semantics. Whether you accept my answer or don't, it isn't going to change.
Okay, we're gonna go with the thief voice because he's not being awkward Lupin right now. And whether you listen to me or not, I'm not going to give up. Until you return to me what's mine, I won't stop chasing you. I'll follow you to the brink of death if I must. Well, this is gonna be an adventure.
I fear I can't have that.
What? Oh! Oh, Lupin. Oh, God. Glasses, boy. Are you gonna push me up against a wall? Because you know I love that. Oh! Akechi didn't shove me up against a wall, but Lupin's gonna. The awkward nerdy Oh! Oh, Lupin, I love you so much. It's not a Tomei game for Spacey until somebody with glasses shoves us up against a wall. They don't have to have glasses, but if they're the glasses character and they shove you up against a wall, it's like bonus points for me. Yes, I'm going to count this.
Look at his face. It's precious.
With an aggressive air about him, it was now he who grabbed my arm before pushing me back against a nearby wall. Yes! Ah, my life goal has been achieved in this game. Huh. Now, if that ever happened in real life, I'd kick someone in the nuts. But I'm just saying, in these games, I love it. I don't know. Ow!
I can't allow you to do that. I don't want you anywhere near me.
The force he applied was so unrestrained that I could have near stopped breathing at any moment. This awkward, horrible pain must have shown in my expression. If it did, then it did nothing to affect him. He continued to restrain me with a cold power I'd never known he had, and a glare that felt hostile in nature. You're like, but you're always calling me my dearest and my princess, and you kiss me, but now you're saying stay away from you? I'm so confused. Like, seriously, talk about split personality. I mean, he's got a multiple personalities, not even split, because you got the awkward, stuttering Lupin that's shy and awkward, and everybody, and then you've got the Lupin thief who's like, hi, I love you. I'm gonna make out with you when your eyes are closed, and I'm gonna get you naked. And then you got this one who's like, stay the fuck away from me. We need another. This is Toby. Toby is a fucking dick, man. I was powerless in the face of it. I've never seen him like this before. I know he's kind of pretty though, huh? A chill went through me as I saw Lupin and Lupin, both deceivers, both holding me down, and yet it was neither. I don't know how many ways I can say that our worlds are just too different. And I have a goal, and you're getting in the way of me achieving it. Stop. Stop being a thorn in my side. I felt I'd been pierced then. His face, his voice, everything he was, no matter which mask, denied me. You'd be putting yourself in danger by being near me. Be in twice the danger with me, or settle for the dangers of being the heiress of House Lupin? Just stay away. That's all I can say. He roughly tore his hand away. Wait! Lupin! He paid no heed to my cries, instead walking further and further off till he could surely not hear me. Wait! Wait, Lupin! No matter how I begged, he never once turned around. Again I'd been left alone. What a selfish man! What a cruel man! He becomes a constant thorn in my side, then he turns and says not to be a thorn in his. My wrist still felt hot where he grabbed me, but it was a lighter pain than what he'd left in my chest. Could not have ached less had he pulled out my heart and trounced it before me with his boot. Damn. Why did he have to appear again? Why does he keep torturing me like this? Uh-huh. I have a feeling this is his dad, but I'm just gonna read. And to that I could not agree more. What heartless lout makes a lady so charming cry as you do? I should see the parents who raised him and give them a talking to. I don't know who it is. Oh, it is his dad. Huh? I hadn't expected any sort of response. Who are you? I thought the academy grounds were barred from the public. I'm a simple gardener, a horticulturist if you like, for I was contacted to give the garden in this courtyard a certain affectionate touch. Call me Maurice. A gentleman greeted me with a severely kind smile, and with it a childlike candor that was evident in his every motion. And this is quite the location, I say. It's my first visit, but I only need the first to see this academy as a marvel. I wouldn't mind sending my own child here were I to become a father. What malice I'd felt before was melted. A man like this, whose low voice gave the impression of one good-hearted to his soul, could very well have been designed for this purpose. His smile and voice remind me of someone, but I can't put my finger on who. Oh, dear God, girl, are you fucking stupid? He literally just walked... Well, what happened? Did you quarrel with that bespectacled boy? He's a bastard bespectacled boyfriend is what he is, and I love those! He's the awkward he's the glasses nerd. Lupin. John. Lupin. Huh. And he's the bastard bespectacled boyfriend, the Lupin character, even though Lupin doesn't wear glasses, but Lupin does. You know, it's Lupin and Lupin, whatever. But he was being... Oh, he has got all sorts of everything. I love it. He's the glasses sweetheart. Well, okay, Akechi was the glasses sweetheart. Akechi's the glasses sweetheart. Lupin is the glasses nerd. And the bastard bespectacled boyfriend. He's both. And I love, you know me, I love the glasses characters, whether they be the glasses asshole, the glasses nerd, or like the glasses sweetheart. I just love them. I love the glasses. Don't know why. And the fact that he was the glasses character that slammed us up against a wall in the bastard mode. Oh, it's like the Van Helsing treatment and I'm down for it. Lupin might be my favorite character. Pendleton is still my favorite character. You couldn't put glasses on Pendleton, though, it wouldn't work. I mean, it might. Yeah. Okay. Pendleton, when you're going to school me because I've been naughty, and you're going to punish me, I want you to put glasses on to make it more serious. I will gladly accept my punishments, Pendleton. I've got problems. Oh, dear God. Anyway. If it were, I would have been able to argue back, but I know him less than I thought. I don't know what's going through his head. Not at all. I've never met someone so self-centered and greedy in all my life. He sounds like a bad egg, that boy. And a terrible lover. But, you see, this is it. I've never met anyone so willing to put themselves second to help me. It's true that I don't understand him, but I understand myself even less for how happy I am when I see him. And I don't understand why I'm so distraught when he tells me to stay away. You, dear, are truly one of pure heart. I see why he's determined to protect you. What? Oh, there was a time when I was young, if you believe it, that I was toyed by a woman with a similar character. She was sweeter than wine. Never did I know a woman more beautiful. And stubborn. Oh, she was stubborn, and it fascinated me to no end. Were you? I still recall the day she accepted a necklace I gifted her. And the way she smiled with all her heart and told me she would treasure it forever. A necklace? But forever was not meant to be. She left us, very suddenly, with only her love for me and our son to suture our wounds. And here's funny, he's like, if I ever had a kid. I mean, we know who he is, but it's like now he's slowly, like, losing. Maurice, you aren't... When love is stolen away from you, it's difficult to find it again. The fear of losing it becomes greater than the joy it once brought. Oh, he's traumatized by losing his mom, so he can't love us because he's afraid he's going to lose us too. Oh, you poor thing. I want to love you more now. You're the tragic glasses character. That's so the Van Helsing character. I had a traumatic past. I can't love anyone. Oh, I want to love you so much more now. Please don't shoot me. My son is a strong one, but when it comes to treasuring those he wishes to cherish, He cannot help but be a coward. That applies very much to you, Spacey Widley. I could see that both father and son were the very same sly smile. Aha. Anyway, perfect place to stop. So, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.